What is up, everybody? This is your host, Sarah, from the Mountain Witch Tarot channel, and today we are doing a very quick, very impromptu Lenormand Grand Tableau for, not so much for Trump himself. I mean, it kind of is, but this is mostly for the outcome of the Epstein client list. So my intentions I set was like, how does this play out? And this will inevitably include Donald Trump, but it's not specifically 100% about him. It's actually, I think more than anything, as we're going to find out, it's quite a bit to do with her, but we're going to get there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So real quick, if you haven't yet, go ahead and click that like button. It really helps me out. And if you enjoy political divination, it'll help you out as well to click the thumbs up button. So if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to stick around, hit the subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what your take is on all this. And also I have tons and tons of other political divination videos. So if you're new here, feel free to check out some of that. Now let's get started on this real quick. So again, my intentions were, how does this whole debacle play out with the Epstein files and the non-existent client list? So we're going to start actually with the fate line, interestingly enough. So the fate line right here is kind of reiterating to us a couple of things. Burdensome self-interest that's been a long time coming, okay? This has been a problem for a long time. There's been a lot of people involved in this and invested in this for a long time, and I think now we're going to see a big change in this situation. Will it be good? Will it be bad? I don't know. We'll try to figure that out as we go. But I think now is a pivotal time for this entire case. And I think the fireworks are really going to go off at this point. So now that we've looked at the fate line, let's kind of zoom back a little bit. And I apologize, the way I'm filming this, I'm not going to be able to get the whole grand tableau in frame at once, which is fine because now you can kind of see the cards if I just go line by line. So let me move the camera and we'll get to the top of the GT. One thing I want to start with, there's a couple of really interesting pieces of information here, but I kind of want to start over on this side right here. And as you can see, we have the woman card, and above her we have the tower and the stork. So as soon as I saw this, I kind of thought, and also the house is below her, forgot to point that out as well. So kind of looks a little bit like some freedom and movement for someone who has been maybe isolated for a great deal of time. So that I thought was really interesting. The next thing that I think is really, really super interesting is this center 4. So this is the heart of the story here that the GT is kind of painting for us. And we have the birds, we have the scythe, we have the ship, is it? Yeah, the ship, and we have the garden. So now with these two cards, I feel like there is possible movement into the public eye. So we have to wonder, like, well, what is that? What's moving into the public eye? Interestingly enough, I think that these two cards, the other two from the heart of the story, there's a sense of silencing, quietening the chatter, cutting out the voices. So we've got kind of like two conflicting things kind of going on here, right? I mean, that's kind of weird. So I went and found the writer because I want to know, like, if this is very much communication based, silencing voices, but yet also bringing something, making progress into the public. Like it sounds like messaging, right? Some type of information. So interestingly enough, the writer is right over here next to the letter card, which means that there is some type of communication or documentation being brought into the public eye. Now, what's in between the heart of the story cards and the writer? Very interesting placement in this line, by the way. I think this is the most interesting line in the spread. The snake card. So this, not only does this indicate some type of treachery, information, documentation being brought out into the public of treacherous secrets, because we have the book right here. This is all being exposed by a woman. I feel like there is at this moment in time, a good chance that this woman, and I think we all know who she is in this instance because she's been isolated. There's likely change, movement, migration from her isolation. She is holding the key to all the things we need to know, and it definitely looks like she is about to spill the beans. Okay, that's everything else in this GT, despite it being very interesting, and I think there's pretty good information here. I think it's really all about this third line. The next interesting thing that I'd like to point out, though, we go to the man card. Now, because of how I set my intentions for this spread, we don't know for sure, is this Donald Trump? Is this airplane guy himself? Is this a representation of some faction or group of people? We don't know for sure, but I'll tell you what we can see here is that I'm not going to move the camera again, but if you remember in the fate line, which is this card, let me just pick the card up. This card right here was the fourth one in the fate line. It actually falls right beneath the tree. So the cross card is the card of burdens, and this man is right beside of the child, which is right over top of the cross. So this is some indicator of a new burden coming out. And if we look, what type of burden are we talking about here? Well, something that's been protected. This is something that, is growing in the public eye. It's something that hasn't been a problem. I mean, it could have been a problem, but it's recently become a bigger problem because we do have this representation of something growing, increasing, leveling up, powering up, whatever you want to say that this card represents. So something that was protected is now a new issue. We have the burden card right underneath. You can't see it. And then over here, we have the house card, which is like, inner world, inner thoughts, safe places, your literal home. Above, we have the book. So if we're kind of focusing on these three cards right here, they are surrounded in context by the heart of the story, which is the garden, which is the card of public attention, public gathering. And then right next to it, we have the book, which is a book of its secrets, information that we didn't otherwise know, being kind of revealed here in the sun. Lots of energy compounding down on it from the top as well. I mean, we have, let's see, what have we got up here? Okay, so up here we have like the clover, we have the whip, we have the mice. So right there is a big sense of risk at the very top of the line. We come down, we have the scythe, we have the fish, we have the ring. So this is, the cutting of some type of contract, some type of agreement. There could be many agreements. There could be financial agreements. This could be something, and she's involved in this too, because this is all kind of tied together on this side of the reading. Again, compounding down onto the secrets being revealed to the public, involving this man, something he's protected, but now he's got a new burden. If we start to isolate some of these blocks little by little and start to look at them on a smaller scale to get context, then we could start up here at the very top with the mice card. Well, the mice card is the card of gnawing destruction, things being destroyed, lots of little anxieties, problems, daily problems, a problem that has existed for quite some time and has been diminishing you or, your situation, leaving a huge mess for you to clean up, something that you didn't deal with, as it needed to be dealt with, something that was maybe let go for a little bit too long. And it's kind of surrounded here by the whip and the stork. So that is a pretty good indication that we're starting the top of the energy here with a repeated problem, a problem that has been a problem for a very long time. It's always created a mess. It's always been an issue, but now we are introduced to this sense of change. So this is transforming into what? Maybe becoming a bigger problem. Maybe the circle has grown. This is an old, long-standing problem. Quite a few issues, deep-rooted issues that are attached to it. let's see here. So let's move over a little bit to the other side and kind of see what we've got going on the other side of the spread. And we're starting off up here with the stars, the anchor, and the key. So if we're just looking, isolating these three cards, what kind of message do we see here? Well, we may be seeing something about how a situation that was kind of buried and settled is now stirred back up. And there is access to it. This access has, connections to, and for the heart card here, lots of emotion invested in the access to this issue. Beneath it, we have, let's see, what do we got? We got the bouquet, we've got the clouds, we've got the mountain. Oh, very interesting. So I feel like there is a reference to travel here. So this is the cards reiterating. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think these three cards are referring to. This is an invitation through the clouds to an isolated place. What does that sound like? Airplane Guy's Island, right? So very much this. This was a settled issue, but now it's kind of being accessed again, being stirred back up. And then that's when we get down here to messages coming out. So this is directly tied to this, which I think is a good indicator that we will see a big move made, like a pivotal moment will come to pass with this island and the people involved. Because here we have documentation coming out, being brought out, that reveals some really, really disgusting truths, some things that people didn't see coming. And then down here we have the card of reputation. We have the card of, normally in a political reading, this would be our loyalist card. I'm feeling like it probably still is because this is still technically a political reading at this point. So there's the moon, the dog, the coffin. This is loyalist just saying I'm done. Figurative death of the loyalty that they have given based on reputation, based on, what they expected to come out from these cards right here. The stuff we just went over. I don't want to repeat keywords too many times. I want to try to keep it, algorithm safe here. So using a little bit of coded language. This is them giving up, basically. And then we usually reassign the Lily card to Donald Trump's loyalty, his duty to the country as a president. We can kind of tell where he's compromising us and his position of power. So we do see some protection around it. We see, and I guess this one probably wouldn't be reassigned at this point, just simply because this is not specifically about Donald Trump. So we're going to say that this loyalty probably goes with the loyalists. A little bit of protection here, but also kind of moving. I mean, we are flanked over here with the snake, the coffin. So some really painful endings kind of coming in here in this section. There's, loyalists finding an ending in their story, in their journey to being so loyal to someone who has now betrayed them. And of course, I'm talking about Donald Trump because he did not give them the thing that they wanted most. Now, another thing that's probably interesting to point out, I don't remember if I already pointed this out. If I did, I guess just ignore it, whatever. The four corners, we have the star, we have the stork, we have the moon, and we have the house. These corner cards, despite, like a typical Lenormand definition of those four cards, right now I keep thinking of like flying into the night, flying into darkness, heading into uncharted territory. And I think that overall, there is definitely a sense of we are now headed into uncharted territory with this situation. And I think that there is absolutely no way of knowing where this will go. I know a lot of people will be speculating on it. The one thing I can tell you for sure is that we need to keep this story front and center. We need to not let this go because this is the key to unraveling the Trump administration. we won't get a chance like this again anytime soon. So this story needs to stay front and center, and we need to not let Trump or MAGA forget that we know that he knows what he did and why he did it. But we are definitely heading into uncharted territory. And, then we have like the overtones of reputation and spreading information and, change and inner lives and like behind closed doors and like the secrets that we keep behind closed doors. Because, here in this blog, remember, we do have secrets and the house, closed doors, keeping things behind those doors and then illuminating them with the sun. And she is at the forefront of doing so. We all know who she very likely is in this scenario. I think that the key is in her hands. I really wish that this card would have shown up closer to her, but it didn't. But still, despite that, I think that she holds all the power right now. So very likely that we could see Donald Trump start making a play for appeasing this woman, for reparations, in regards to maybe getting her out, movement, change, migration, moving her out of the isolating place that she's in, trying to build a bond with her. But likely that bond is diminished and cannot be rebuilt. There's too many diminishing things that have happened over and over. I don't think if he does offer her some type of alliance, I think there's a good chance she'll reject it. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that is my very quick, very impromptu grand tableau for how will this whole debacle with the Epstein files play out. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you are a Lenormand reader, if you see anything here that I missed. And don't forget that the fate line is in fact down below here. Just couldn't get it all on the screen. But it is down here, and you can go back, refer to the beginning of the video to see it if you want to. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.